las plagas. Jesus Christ!
Resident Evil 4 and me have a rocky history together, you could say. I made a video a couple of years ago talking about how I dislike the original Resident Evil 4, and I found and still find it very overrated. And after playing through the Resident Evil 4 remake this last week, that opinion on the original game has not changed. I still think it's wank. However, the remake is ducking awesome. It really took me by surprise at how well paced it is, and now that the game is a lot more akin to the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, with a lot more horror and stealth elements, and no QuickTime events, which is always a plus, I can safely say that I am indeed now a fan of Resident Evil 4, but the remake. It has become one of my favourite Resident Evils, to be honest, and that comes from someone that hates the original 4, if you couldn't guess. I can't stress that enough. Leon is badass and relatable throughout the story, his chemistry with Ashley is great, and apparently much better than the original. I didn't get too far into the original because I couldn't stand it. However, in this remake, Luis was my favourite side character in the game, the ex-Umbrella laboratory geezer, and I was not happy with the way his story went. Damn you, Krauser. And speaking of that psychotic Krauser, his boss fights were cool with the knives, dodging and parrying, and all the boss fights really were all really awesome and very well done. I enjoyed every single one of them. All the different areas of the game, from the forests and villages of the beginning to the lake, the castle, the island, the underground parts with the minecarts, all had a great feel and look, and there was a great variety of enemies to take on too, although I could have lived my entire life happy without knowing that the regenerators were a thing, so thanks for that, Capcom. That's going to haunt my nightmares. Now, Resident Evil 4 also has some great replayability, just normally like other Resident Evil games, with being able to gain higher scores, playing on different difficulties, unlock costumes, concept art, game models, etc. You know, all of the good stuff. Not to mention the fact that the remake is actually really awesome, so I do want to replay it. And there's DLC to play as Ada as well, which is always cool. Exploration is rewarded by finding treasures and trinkets. You can put gems into other treasures like crowns and bracelets to increase their value. You can find ammo and other consumables strewn about the map. You can upgrade and buy new weapons, attachments and other items from the cool merchant that pops up all over the place, which sounds more British than me, which is odd. I mean, I'm from the West Country of England, so I kind of sound like a farmer pirate, so I do apologise on that one. You can take on a lot of side missions for the merchant as well to unlock special currency used to buy treasure maps and special weapons, and apparently there's more put into this remake than there was in the original 2, so again, there's plenty for you to do. There's also a shooting range that you can take part in, winning some cool stuff, and so much more. I went into the Resident Evil 4 remake with very low expectations, and I was blown away. It really is an amazing game, and one of the best games of 2023. If you haven't played either the original or this remake, then I highly recommend that you just play the remake. Seriously, the original is mega wank, just fuck that one right off. Everything about the original was fixed, for me personally. It looks more like a Resident Evil, it feels more like a Resident Evil, and especially now that it feels just perfect. It goes alongside perfectly for the 2 and 3 remakes. The same character models used for Leon 2 and maybe Ada. It's been a couple of years since I've played RE2 Remake, but I do want to replay it again because this game has just made me fall back in to the whole Resident Evil mindset. The game plays great and the actual shooting feels great and not horrendous like the original. I'm now actually really looking forward to the Resident Evil 5 remake if Capcom are doing that. If they give it the same makeover as these last few Resident Evil remakes, we're going to be in for an awesome time. I hope they ditch the co-op stuff from the original RE5 and maybe not make it so sunny all the time. Maybe start the game off in the daytime but then have it get more horror related. That would be cool. But let me know in the comments if the original Resident Evil 4 was for you. Was it your first Resident Evil? Mine was the very first Resident Evil in the 90s because I am an old crusty bastard. And as always, you know, hashtag remember Luis. Damn you, Krauser. And thank you very much for watching.